Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and today I thought I would show you guys my Aussie or Australian horror collection. This is a video that I've had in mind to do for quite some time, and I often get people asking me for recommendations when it comes to Australian horror, and there's quite a few. I don't own every single one obviously, but I own a majority of them, and I own pretty much all the really good ones. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea of what's about in terms of horror out of Australia. So yeah, I believe this is everything I own Aussie horror wise. I don't normally have them all together like this, but just for the purpose of this video I've just taken them out of my collection and put them onto a shelf altogether because it's going to be a little bit easier for me to go through it that way. Anyway, let's get started. So we're going to start with the Blu-rays first. So first up we have The Babadook, which is a fairly modern horror movie. It's really good though, really creepy. Next up we have Charlie's Farm, which is a really good slasher. If you're a fan of Hatchet, definitely check this one out if you haven't already. Dead End Drive-In, which is a pretty recent release from Arrow Video, and they did a really good job on this. This is definitely one of my favourite 80s Aussie horror movies. Really love the premise, and it's just a lot of fun. The Horseman, this is more of a revenge thriller than a full-on horror movie, but I definitely wanted to include it in this video. If you're a fan of revenge movies such as I Saw the Devil, this is absolutely fantastic. Really well done. It's pretty brutal and violent throughout. Ladies Stay Dead, I don't really know too much about this. I have not got around to watching this yet. But from what I can tell, it's based on a serial killer, and it's an 80s horror movie. So yeah, that's pretty much all I know about that. I really need to get around to watching that actually. Long Weekend, which everyone knows about this movie, especially since it's recent Blu-ray releases. I know Umbrella have also released this as well. This is the Synapse release. Pretty awesome cover art. This is a really good sort of creature revenge movie. The Loved Ones, which is absolutely fantastic. It's very brutal and pretty messed up, but I definitely highly recommend this one. The Pack. Patrick, which is a 70s horror movie about the character Patrick with telekinesis powers. Not a big fan of this one, to be honest. It's pretty boring in my opinion. And the remake, which I think I preferred slightly more, but again, not a massive fan of it. Red Ink, this one's pretty underrated. It's pretty original as well. Basically it's about a deranged serial killer who chains up a group of office workers. It's got some pretty good gore in it throughout as well, so yeah, if you've never seen this before, I definitely recommend it. It's also known as Inhuman Resources, I believe. The Reef, fantastic shark movie. In my opinion, this is the best shark movie since Jaws. Road Games with Jamie Lee Curtis. I need to give this one another rewatch. I wasn't a massive fan of it when I first watched it. It's kind of slow, but yeah, that's Road Games. Rogue, which is a really good croc creature feature. Definitely recommend this. Snowtown, which is a fantastic serial killer movie. It's actually based off two real life serial killers. John Bunting and Robert Wagner. If any of you guys in Australia are familiar, or worldwide are familiar with the body and the barrel cases, this is what that movie is based on. Basically, they put their victims, after they'd killed the victims, they disposed of them in barrels of acid. Great movie, pretty messed up though. Storm Warning, which is really underrated. If you're a fan of revenge movies, I highly recommend this one. Women Get Revenge movies. This is definitely what this movie is all about, and it's pretty nasty. Thirst. Undead. I need to give this one another rewatch because when I first saw it, I absolutely loved the first half of the movie. It's a zombie movie essentially, but then I wasn't a massive fan of the ending. It turned into some weird and silly sort of sci-fi thing, which I felt really let the movie down. But the first half, the zombie portion, is really good though. Wolf Creek, which is probably my favourite Aussie horror movie. This one's pretty well known, so I'm sure you guys know what this is all about. But again, like Snowtown, this is based off a real life serial killer, Ivan Milat. This one's amazing. And the sequel, Wolf Creek 2, is fantastic as well. Then we have Wormwood, Road of the Dead. This is sort of a Mad Max meets a Dawn of the Dead style zombie flick, just like it says there on the cover, and it's pretty well spot on. This is really good. Got some good humour throughout, really good effects, and some pretty full-on gore. Okay, and moving on to the DVDs now. So we have Black Water, which is another really good creature feature that I would definitely recommend. Pretty underrated in my opinion. Blood Moon, which is an early 90s slasher movie. This one was really disappointing. It's sort of more of a soap drama than a full-on slasher, and that definitely takes away from the movie in my opinion. Body Melt. Check out this amazing artwork from Umbrella Entertainment. This is one that I definitely need to upgrade to Blu-ray. It's not one of my absolute favourites, but it's decent and it has some pretty good effects as well. The closest thing that I could say this is similar to is stuff like Street Trash. So yeah, that's Body Melt. Next up we have The Clinic. This is extremely underrated, and I actually picked this one up in a store on a whim ages ago, and I'm really glad I did. I wasn't even aware that this was an Australian horror movie when I picked it up. The synopsis sounded good. Basically this is about a group of people that trap a bunch of pregnant women in a warehouse. They've removed their babies, and yeah, the women sort of don't really know whose baby's who, and they sort of have to find out. They've got coloured tags sewn into their stomachs, and that corresponds with their baby. So yeah, pretty interesting, and it was really good. Cut. This is a 90s slasher movie, I believe. I think it's from the early 90s. It's got Molly Ringwald in it and Kylie Minogue. This one's pretty decent. It's got a pretty cool setting. It's all centered around a film being made, and it is pretty good. Next up we have Dark Age. This one stars John Jarratt, who's of course the main character in Wolf Creek. This is another really good croc creature feature. Alright, and down to the last few. We have Dying Breed. This one's alright, it's not the best. This is a pretty rare movie to get hold of now. If you're a fan of like backwood hillbilly type movies with cannibal elements, I would probably recommend it. Yeah, it was just decent though. Fair Game. This is another one that I've yet to check out, and another one that I really need to get to very soon because it sounds good, and I've heard this is really, really good. Another revenge style film. Fortress, it's been a while since I've seen this, but it is pretty good. It's about a group of crazy guys who kidnap a group of class students. The Killage, this is extremely underrated. I don't think it really helps that this hasn't really had a massive release other than this DVD right here. This is a fantastic modern slasher with some really, really good kills, so yeah, I definitely highly recommend this one. Nightmares, this is absolutely terrible. 80s slasher movie, that's just bad. Not quite Hollywood. If you're a fan of documentaries, I definitely recommend this one. Really, really in-depth documentary covering Ausploitation. Razorback, this is a wild pig or boar 80s creature feature. Not a big fan of it, it's pretty boring to be honest. The Ruins. Scare Campaign. This is another fairly recent movie added to the collection actually, and I kind of picked it up on a whim. I didn't really know too much about it. It's a slasher film and I think it's really, really well done. The premise is pretty cool. It's sort of about a prank style TV show, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's really, really good, and there's some good twists throughout as well. Slaughtered, this is another slasher movie. This time around this is set in a rural pub setting, and it's pretty bad. The Tunnel, this one's set in underground Sydney, and yeah, pretty creepy. And last but certainly not least, Turkey Shoot. What can I say about this? This is Ausploitation at its finest in my opinion. So yeah, that is Turkey Shoot. Alrighty, so that does it for my Aussie or Australian horror movie collection. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As I said, I'm pretty sure I have included everything that I own in terms of Australian horror movies for this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope this has given you a little bit of knowledge on what types of horror movies are Australian made. I also want to give a quick shout out to Umbrella Entertainment. They're pretty much the main distribution company over here when it comes to releasing not only Australian horror and Ausploitation, but just horror in general. And they're a great company. I know quite a few of you have been ordering some of their releases recently, which is great to see. But yeah, I'll be leaving a link to their website in the description box below, so definitely check them out. They're a fantastic company, and yeah, just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Anyway guys, that pretty much does it for this video, so thank you for watching.